Yes, good day all. Hope you are doing great. So this is our first problem solving session. So I want to start with the first assignment I have given. So let's just start to save the time. In the first question, this is given set A with the elements 2, 4, and 6, while set B is given with the elements 1, 2, and 3. Then write A union B. Remember, union means and. So all the elements in A and all the elements in B will be written together to have A union B. You can still write them in the given order like 2, 4, 6, 1. No need to repeat 2 and 3. But for it to be nicer, you can put them in order 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. Remember, 2 is repeated in both sets, but we don't need to write it twice in the union sets. In the second question, we have find the intersection of each of the following pairs. So we have set A with the elements 1, 4, 9, and 16, while set B 3, 6, 9, and 12. So the intersection set, that is, which elements is or are in both sets, that's only number 9. So A intersect B is the set with element 9. In option B, we have the set C with PQRS, while the set D with AB. As you can see, no element is common in both in C and D. That means C intersect D is an empty set. It can be shown, remembered this way, or can still be shown with another empty set sign, which is this. The next option C is X is the set of all X's such that X is a letter of the word loyal. So look at the letters L, O, Y, A, and L. Since L is repeated, no need to write it twice. So this is the first set with L, O, Y, and A, while the second one with the word flow, which F, L, O, and W, which is flow. So as you can see, L and O are in both sets. That's going to be the elements of X intersect Y, or the intersection of the set X and Y, set Y. So let's move on to the third question. List elements of the following sets using 3 dots, if necessary. So the first one says letters of the alphabet. Yes, you can write them down, but instead, for it to be written in a shorter way, you just write A, B, C. 3 dots means there are some left out, and you can write 1 or 2 from the other ends, so Y and Z. So you can list the elements of these letters of alphabet in this way. Odd numbers less than 30. So we have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, blah, blah, blah. Again, you can use the 3 dots to indicate there are some in this set. And from the end, you can still write some of them. That's 27 and 29 is written over here. In question 4, we are asked to use the sign, I'm sure you can recall, is an element of or is not an element of, to make the given statement true. So if you look at here, they are asking whether 9 is an element of this set. As you can see, 9 is here. That means it is an element of the given set. And the second question says 3.5, which, as you clearly know, is a decimal number, is not an element of the whole numbers, because it's not a whole number like 5, 7, 130, or any number. Then option C says we have a set of African countries which is named as A. If Togo belongs to this set, yes, since Togo is an African country, so Togo is an element of set A. And in the last one, we have 3, 6, 9, blah, blah, and 18, 3 dots, 18, 21. As you can see, the common property of all these elements are what? It is that they are the multiples of 3. However, 11 is not a multiple of 3. In this case, we say that 11 is not an element of the given set. Complete the following. Complete like normally in the original question. We don't have this answer. So it is just ask the number of elements in set M. So you're just counting them down: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That means the number of elements in set M is 6. Likely, what is the number of elements in set B? As you can see, there's only one element, which is 0. It's a tricky question, actually. Since you see 0, you may think that there's no element in B, but 0 is a number, and as a number, it's an element of set B. So the number of elements in set B is 11. When we move on to C, set M is month of the year. Since we clearly know that there are 12 months in a year, so the number of elements of set M is 12. And in option D, we have another set T with a sign, a shape, you can say, a symbol in between curly brackets. Since it is given in between curly brackets, you can take this one as a kind of picture or shape or a symbol. That means there is an element in this set T, which is this symbol. That means there's one element. That means the number of elements of the set T is 1. So do not get confused, please. Another tricky question. If you didn't have the curly brackets here, at that time you would have said T is an empty set. Number 6, we are asked to write down all the subsets of the set 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we have to write down all the subsets of 6, 7, 8, and 9. So always start with the subset with no elements, which is empty set, because we already know that empty set is subset of all the sets, as you can recall. Then continue with the subsets with one element. So this is a set of 4 elements. So we have 6, 7, 8, and 9. After that, move to write down the subsets with 2 elements. And always start with the first one if you are putting them in order, not to miss any of them. So the first 2 elements subset you can write as 6, 7, then keep 6 and say 6, 8, you have 6, 9, okay? So those with the 6 already finished. Then you can move on to 7, 8, and 7, 9. Remember, when I'm checking 7, I'm checking 7, 8, and I'm checking 7, 9. I'm not going back to 7, 6, because 7, 6, and 6, 7, they are the same. Order doesn't matter in sets, remember. And go to 8, and you have 8, 9. I think we are through with the 2 elements subsets. So move on to the subsets with 3 elements, that is 6, 7, 8. We have 6, 7, 9. And we have 6, 8, 9. Those started with 6. And then move on to 7. So we have 7, 8, and 9. So we have 4 subsets with 3 elements. And the last subset is the set itself, or 4 element subset, you can say. So all in all, let's count down how many subsets do we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16, right? Actually, I'm sure you can recall that for a set, for any given set with the element where the element number is n, what is the number of subsets? Is 2 raised to power n, isn't it? So in this particular case, since there are 4 elements, it's going to be 2 raised to power 4, which is 16. And we just confirmed, we cross-checked that there are 16 subsets. So if we are not to list all the subsets, write all them down, to find the number of subsets, we can just use 2 raised to power n. If you're looking for the proper subsets, remember, we are just removing the set itself, okay, to get the proper subsets. It's going to be 2 raised to power n minus 1 if you are a triangle. So any subset written down here is a proper subset of the sets, except the set itself. So we need move on to the number 7. Write the following in symbols. Write the following in symbols. So what is the sign of subsets? Remember, we use sign, isn't it? So we write the set of pelicans is a subset first. So just assume that you are using this sign in between the two sets. Planes is not a subset. What do? We just cross the subset sign with a line to indicate that it's not. So you can still put it here, is not a subset. K is a subset of L, so we can write that K, set K, is a subset of set L. Likely, M contains N. This time around, we have another word here. Remember, we said that we can turn around the sign and write the same relation. In this case, N is a subset of M, while M contains N. I just gave you a trick, if you can recall. The empty face, look at it here. Let me use another color for it to be seen. Okay, the empty face of the sign always faces the bigger sets. Look at it here. K is a subset of L. You see, L is the bigger one, so the empty face of the sign faces the bigger set. So here, M contains N. Okay. In number 8, we are asked to draw a Venn diagram showing the elements of U and T. So let's first write down the elements of U. Okay, simply here there's the days of the week. Okay, so let's write down what are the elements in. Okay, so let's start with the first day of the Monday, right? Then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, isn't it? So this is the universal set given, and the set T is given as what? The set T. Let's go back to yes, here is the days of the week with the letter starts with the letter T. So since we can see all the days just in union set, we have Tuesday, isn't it? Starting with the letter T, and we have Thursday. Do we have any other sets? I think we don't, right? So in this case, Tuesday and Thursday, yeah. So draw a Venn diagram showing the elements of these two sets. Okay, so let's do it. Let's just separate these ones so that to not do grammatical mistake. Okay, so let's draw our universal set first. This mouse is giving me trouble. So where are our shapes? Okay, here. Draw a universal set. Let me do something like this. It can be any. Doesn't have to be here. And we have one another set inside this set. So let's, for example, I set this. Still, we don't have much. Okay, here. You can select the offline black or luminous in black. So now we're going to do what? Okay, we can just add the name of the set. This is universal set. You can put name it here or there, it doesn't matter actually. I'm gonna put it here. Maybe we can put PDF to side. Then we have what? Sets T. Of course, you will be able to do all these ones much faster to IO and yeah. So we have drawn the two sets here. Okay. So in set T we have Tuesday and Thursday. So if you want to just write them down, Tuesday and Thursday are in set T. Okay. Then we have what? All the remaining ones like Monday. Okay. For example, you have Friday. We have Saturday. And we have Sunday. Okay. So as you can see, what can we say as the relation of these two sets? We can say that T what is a subset. T is a subset of universal set, isn't it? Why? Because all the elements in T are also are the elements of U. Yes. Let's move on to number 9. What is the union of the set January, February, March, and April, May, and June? Okay, what's the union? So let's check. January, February, March is the first set, while April, May, and June. So the union is, yes, as we can just see, yeah, okay. The union is going to be everything in both sets. That is January, February, sorry, yes, March, April, May, and June. So this is going to be the union set. And what is the intersection? Since both these two sets doesn't have anything in common, the intersection is going to be empty sets. Represent the two sets on a Venn diagram. Okay, so if you're asked to do this, you can do something similar to what we have done. Just do it as a kind of sketch. Yes, let's have a little space. Actually, IRL. So we have the universal sets. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect. Since I'm using mouse, then we have what? The first sets. Okay. So this is our universal set. We can define that universal set is the set of all months, for example, in a year. And this can be your set A, let's assume. Okay. Or this can be your set B. Okay. So in the set A, we have all these sets. So if you want to write down the elements in set, let me just use the first letter just to save our time. We have January, we have February, and we have what? March. Sorry. Let's erase this. So we have March. This amount is the say for the columns. Let's remove. Okay. Yeah. January, February, and March. Well, in the second one we have April, May, and June. So for May, let me use a different notation. flag NA, I will have 3. Teaching. Sorry for the bad look. So as you see, I think the reason this question is asked to us, for us to be able to see that A and B are what? They don't have anything in common, so these sets are what? Disjoint sets. Remember that we can say that A and B are disjoint sets since A intersects B is empty sets. There's no any element that is in both sets. Okay, so let's move on to the last question. We have the universal set, all the numbers, whole numbers from 1 to 10, natural numbers you can even say. So odd numbers 1 to 9. So if you need to write down the elements of A, they are going to be what? Let's write them down. 1, right? 3, 5, 7, up to 9, they say. Okay, let's say 9 inclusive. Okay, since it's not indicated. And in the second one, numbers less than 7, since it is in this universal set, we are going to write everything less than 7. 5 and 6. Didn't mention less than or equal, that's why I'm just taking all the numbers less than 7. Okay, so let's write down A union B. Write out the numbers of these following. So if we are talking about A union B, we need to write down all the elements in both A and B. So 1 is there, 2 is there, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. Okay, so if we are looking for A intersection B, we have 1 in both sides, as you can see. Check it out from up. 3 is also in both sides. 5 is also in both sides. Yeah, these are the whole 4 that is in both sides. Look at it. 1, 1, 3, 3, and 5. Yes. So let's move on. What is A union universal sets? Of course, A union universal set, since we are going to write everything in A and universal set, it is going to be universal set itself again, because all the elements in A are already in U, so you don't repeat the elements. That means you are writing universal set again, isn't it? So if you are talking about the A intersection union sets, this time around, the elements in A, which are 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, so we are just looking for the elements that are also in U. That means all the elements A in A are also in U. That means the intersection of the A and union universal set has to be set A. Okay, A intersect universal set is set A. Likely, universal set intersect B just like the set A, because all the elements in B are at the same time in universal set, means the intersection of the universal set and B is set B, and the union of universal set and set B is because all the elements in universal set also, so you are not repeating. That means you are writing every element in universal set, means you are rewriting the universal set again. So this was our first session. Sorry for some little mistakes, like I mean, especially in writing. I'm working on better tactics for me to be able to give you a better view. But at least, since you are listening also, those who are having difficulty doing their assignments can go through these links, and I will have access and may have a better understanding